Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here on another episode of the Newcastle United Women's podcast. I'm here with resident Lee Lawler. Lee, how you doing today?
I'm Connie. Just sorry, I'm munching on me coleslaw and salad and that.
Weather's pick.
I know, I've been on it for like 6-7 weeks now, and we are at the Wolves End. First time I've been here. It's nice, really nice day, isn't it?
Lovely day. My neck of the woods, the Wolves End. If anyone's from like the Wolves End, North Shields areas, you'll probably know the Wolves End up next to B&Q, and where the old Gala Bingo was. Gala? No, yeah, it was Gala Bingo. Wow. Anyways, I digress. We have not tons of news, but we've got some little bits to talk about today. But make sure, before I do that, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you're listening on audio, give a lovely little 5-star rating on that, please. That would be fantastic. Helps with every which way, and I need to put my phone on silent. Lee, that said, you have the Who Am I. I want to start off straight away and get you into clue one, because I'm dying to try and get bamboozled by this one.
Yeah, and that's what I was literally doing on my phone, everyone. Right, so, as usual, 3 clues. It could be a current, an ex-player, a coach, official, management, a famous fan, anything to deal with Newcastle United Women, and I'll reveal it towards the end. So clue 1, as you know, clue 1's the hardest, then it gets easier and easier. So clue 1, I made my debut for Newcastle in a 9-1 win over Lincoln. I made my debut in a 9-1 win over Lincoln.
Okay, that's a bit of a tough one to start off with. They always do start off kind of hard, though. I hate the first clue, me, most of the time. Although there's been a couple of times lately where I've thought I've had the answer on the first clue, but...
Well, I got Dale last time. It was staring him right in the face.
Becky Langley, wasn't
yeah,
it?
I must have mentioned that name about 7 times.
Oh, no, there's a few ones to take you off there. Big bit of positive news that I want to start off with the daily, right? And it's Beth Lumsden being put up not only for player of the month, and goal of the month for a lovely little goal against Bristol. I think the goal, she's got a good chance of winning it, but for me, the player of the month it's massively deserved, isn't it, after this month she's had?
Yeah, that's a big accolade, isn't it? Because anyone can score. I say anyone. Not. I'll rephrase that. It takes a special player to get nominated for player of the month, because that shows consistency over a certain amount of games. To score a goal, it's a lot more easier to score a worldie. If it's individual skill, that's different. But great for her. I've sung her praises the last couple of weeks. I've even said she's my favourite player at the club. I think she's got it all. She's more than capable of playing at this level, possibly even the WSL. Left foot, right foot technician. And do you know what it is? She's been on the last couple of pressers that were filmed. So positive.
Yeah.
Very energetic and very positive about her outlook and just life in the football team.
You know, I noticed in the press as well, a little funny one is she always comes in with like sliders or flip-flops or something on. She gets very relaxed after the matches, doesn't she?
Well, the time that I didn't go there because it clashed, she was saying don't point at me at the floor at my feet. So what does Juliet do? Point straight at her feet! But thankfully I had to cut that out to trim that in, to take her feet away, because her toes were hanging out at the bottom, and I thought, no, we can't do that. But that was quite funny. But yeah, very funny.
She's great, Beth Lumsden.
It shows that she's relaxed though.
It does, and it shows she's comfortable at the club. I see now on Sunday when I was at the under-21s game, she was there with Grace and Liv. Hannah Greenwood eventually turned up, and she's really involved with this fan base and everything. I think player of the month, the work she's done this past month, she is more than deserving of it. And
a new contract as well recently.
Yes, brilliant. I'm glad, because again, like you said there, I couldn't agree more about WSL. I think she is fit for the WSL, really is. Obviously she had a bit of injury trouble this season, but I don't think it stands against her too much for the accolades she's got other than that, which probably my favourite one. I think everyone's is the Mackem Slayer.
She is the Mackem Slayer, and remember when she first came in, I didn't agree with putting Tyler Dodds on the bench.
Yeah.
But if you ask me that now, I think she deserves that place, whether it's left or right. I think out the 3 wingers, and hopefully Poppy comes back soon, and Freya Gregory, Newcastle have got a great selection of 3 wingers there. Maybe one more add in the summer, and it's healthy competition, and I'm sure we'll talk about that later in the pod, where do we see the squad, etc.
Yeah.
For the rest of the season, but it's promising, isn't it?
It is very promising. I love that front 3 we've been using recently. But moving on, you're seeing that towards the back end of the season, see what happened. And we did get announced today that next season is beginning on the weekend of the 6th and 7th of September, with the winter break happening on the 22nd of December through till the 4th of January, which is less time for the winter break, which I'm glad about, because that 5 week...
I think the whole way, because yes, Redden dropping out, and hopefully there's nothing like that, touch wood, over the summer, that no club drops out, because Redden are just even the men's now, they're having massive crisis. So the winter break, it was too long because it was like they were back for 2-3 games. Then it was another one, then another one. They've had 3 massive interruptions. I remember Jeff asking Becky a question in the presser. Becky, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but do you think the interruptions in the league? You know, bless her.
Jeff.
And she was right, yeah, it was frustrating, but there's not much spec you can do or the club can do. I just think the league structure needs to be a little bit more better in terms of the breaks. I get it, the Euros are on, which all eyes will be on there. So I think it's about right that start then gives the girls enough time, especially the ones that are playing international football, because we've only really got probably one, which is Lewis Joel.
Yeah.
But obviously there'll still be other internationals around the world. All I want to say is less interruptions in the calendar. I get the winter break. I'm all for it. You know, they all want to chill and relax with family and friends. Christmas time, I get that. But it'd be interesting if we ever get the WSL, because I think the club will jot abroad.
Yes.
On training camps.
I think it'll be necessary as well. I think it's a perfect time to do. I mean, in this winter break, we had a friendly against Forest, wasn't it?
Yeah, which was kept under wraps until afterwards, isn't it? So might be 1 or 2 that happens again. But obviously, the club will start and announce probably pre-season fixtures in the next few weeks, 6-7 weeks, men and women, to be honest. So it's that time of year where they'll start a plan all ready for next season.
It's crazy how quick this season feels like it's went, and I think it's just because of the lack of games. It's just made it run forward. So I do hope, like you say, no teams drop out, and I hope that this next season is going to be brilliant. Let us know what you think of the shorter winter break, because that's a big focus for me. I think it's really important to have it shorter, but I love having it.
Can I butt in as well? Chelsea won the League Cup by playing 3 games. That's not on.
Yeah, it's not.
That is why bother being in the competition?
Yeah.
What's the point?
It's not fair, is it?
No, you turn, yes, the favourites to win it. I get it. But the likes of, I think it was Man City, another one, was Arsenal as well. Playing 3 games, you get a major trophy. How?
It's not right.
No, you're either in the competition or you play extra games. It's simple as that. The men have to. So if Chelsea are, let's face it, Chelsea are the elite women's football club, I'm sure they can squeeze an extra 3-4 days in their calendar, 3-4 games.
Easy they can. And now they've got European football and stuff like that, but if we want to elevate the women's game, we need more competition. I think where teams are putting in more effort in the cups and that.
They could play the kids. There was the B-side and still qualify.
Yeah, easy with the squad Chelsea's got, Arsenal's got, City's got. It's phenomenal. They could easily play B-sides and go against championship teams. I hate to say it, but they probably could, and the gap's that big at the moment. The League Cup is starting, actually interesting you mentioned that the League Cup is starting in about mid-September, late September, so again,
well,
yes, it is Subway.
Subway, isn't it?
Subway.
I'll be there. Healthy living, you know.
I think the Subway trend's ended, to be fair. That said, Lee, clue number 2.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking because Ferdinand is with us and he has spotted another couple of dogs, so I'm just a bit wary because he's piping up. So, clue 2, everybody. So, clue 1, I'll just remind you of that. Clue 1, I made my debut in a 9-1 win over Lincoln City. Clue 2, I replaced Georgia Gibson at St James's Park in front of 28,000 fans.
I think I've got it.
It's not like you get it after clue 2. You've
No.
normally got to wait. So there he is. He's barking away. Look at him, shaking because he wants to see the other dog.
Bless him, man. Bless him.
Just repeat that again. So clue 1, 9-1 win over Lincoln City. I made my debut. Clue 2, I replaced Georgia Gibson in front of 28,000 fans at St James's Park.
Yes, I've got a very strong one for that. I think I like that. I think one of the big ones now that we've had clue 2, make sure as you are watching along, you drop it in the comments, put your guesses in, because you can't just come in at the end and say, I had it all along. No, you didn't. Of course he does that. No one else does that. The big one, and you heard Adam Mackman in the last press up ask a question to Becky which pertains around this, and it's, the title race is now over. It's done. What is the focus now for the rest of the season? Adam posed it in a really good way where he said, is it now time to assess the squad? Obviously, as we've got these questions, let us know your thoughts as well in the comments. What do you think the focus is? For me, I want to see a couple of the fringe players get chances and really see who, for better or worse, will have to keep or let go in the summer.
I think there's 2. I think you want to finish high as possible because realistically, Newcastle could finish in the top 3.
Yeah.
I do think it's between London City and... remind me again.
Birmingham,
who are top, sorry. I nearly said Charlton. Because Charlton aren't that far off. But Newcastle could realistically finish third, so I bet you'll want to go for that because that was the first time back in the Championship. Oh, we finished third, what an achievement. That's a totally different mindset. I like the fact that, no, it's not that I like the fact that the promotion talk is gone.
Yep.
Because that was like, it was lingering and it was just in the background. It's like, oh, there's this chance if we pick up that win, or we've got 2 games in hand there, and I'm pleased that's out of the way. For me, I think the 2 Blackburn games are a good way to look at our squad because they're a little bit more easier because they're towards the end of the bottom end of the table. We do still have a couple of tough games. Charlton, obviously, away, and I think she'll make the decision pretty quick, and it'll be interesting if she doesn't play our French players because that tells me that they're at the door already.
It does for me, and when you see players like Olivia Watt coming back, and I instantly want to see Olivia Watt getting some minutes now that like you see, the title race is
I worry
over.
for some of them. I worry for Liv Watt because she's not playing. Katie Barker is another one because she hasn't scored. She's been at the club for years. Grace Donnelly, she's been here for she's the longest serving. And
I think Grace will become a coach. I think it's already
she
set
might
in
become
wings.
like a player coach. She might be that like Mark Gillespie role at Newcastle United Men. Poppy needs to play. That's big because we need to try and get her again on loan again another season. I think Izzy Sibley, and I got criticised by you and Dave, remember, in the pub because I just said, Izzy Sibley's not good enough and Newcastle's barely played. I think she'll head back to Palace. I worry about Lewis Joel. Yes, she's playing minutes, but do Newcastle need to strengthen? I think she'll be looking at all things and think, right, who are me nailed on? I'll ask you that question. Who are me generals? Who am I keeping next season out of that first 11?
Charlotte Potts, Demi Stokes,
Claudia Moore, obviously.
Claudia Moore, obviously, yes, that goes without saying.
Does Fernie get another year?
Yeah, I think so. Fernie gets another year. And mainly for the one for Fernie, it's the same as Grace. Fernie has already announced that she's doing her UEFA B licences for coaching, so I think she stays on. I don't think, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, Rachel, I don't think we're getting rid of Rachel Furness for a long, long time. Get used to her.
I think Emma Kelly's been hindered by injuries. I've already mentioned the 3 wingers. I think Shania will stay.
Yep. I think Amy Andrews goes.
Amy Andrews might go. Yep. You look at the girls who are out on loan. I think Sophie Hayward will go. Daisy Bird's got age on her side, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Another loan, I think.
Becky Ferguson, probably another loan.
Yep.
There's a lot in, like, with the women. You see quite a lot of overhaul every year, and I expect the same.
Yeah, I do. I think it's going to be that ever-evolving. There's one thing that I've said and I've repeated and I've quoted all season long, ever since Becky said it, but ruthlessly ambitious.
And we're not that far off from probably signing foreign talent. Now, I know we've got a Jamaican international, but that's not foreign to me. Shania Hales was brought up in England.
Yes.
Similar to Paige Bailey-Gale. Both similar. And we've got a lot of home nations. British Isles, I'll rephrase that in case any of the Irish tell me off. British Isles nations, sorry, for being political. But it won't be long until we start signing a Danish international or, like an Italian international. We're not that far off, I don't feel.
Can Sandro wear a wig or something? Do you know what I mean?
He's nearly got long hair, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got beautiful. It's not as beautiful as mine, but it's good.
Sandra, ole.
That would be absolutely excellent. If we're going to get a female version of Sandro Tonali, I think our midfield would be set. And one we haven't mentioned who hasn't been seen, especially towards the back end of the season, but I don't think she goes anywhere, Alicia Body. She stays.
I was speaking to Dave. What I'm worried about her is that injury's so young.
Yeah.
She's had a lot. And she needs to play consistently because she's only 2021, and she hasn't had a full season yet.
No, that's true.
She's constantly being hindered by injuries. She's talented, and Fisher is around her. I have no doubt about that. But being so young, getting so many injuries, it is a worry. She needs to get over that and play regular football. And obviously, another one I mentioned, Poppy. So you could throw Alicia in there. She was training last time out, pre-match, so she can't be that far out. She needs a run at the end of the season, doesn't she? Big one for next season, but hopefully she just stays injury-free because she's got a 3-year deal just recently this season as well.
Exactly, she's going nowhere. And I think that was one of the things that our injuries does protect her from, is some bigger clubs coming in and swooping in for her. I think the fact that she hasn't got much game time allows her to not have to fend off a lot of big clubs.
And I'm sorry to mention it, but we don't know what's happening with Jodie Bartlett either. That's another one that's up in the air, isn't it? So we'll have to wait and see on that. The club will probably maybe announce that towards the end of the season.
I don't even want to do our thing anymore because, it's... But Jodie, we hope you're well. Sending out a lot of love to you, and hopefully a lot of people in the comments will send a lot of love to Jodie Bartlett and let her know how much we miss her, because I think she is a big miss at the club. That moving on, talking about the players and what they've been doing over the past couple of weeks, we're looking at the internationals now. A big thing that surprised me, we had the likes of, and I'm going to end up forgetting one here, let's see if I can get them. We had Sophie Haywood, we had Lois Jewell, we had Rachel Furness. Not Sophie Haywood, was Isabel Sibley, sorry. We're going, I knew I'd mix one up.
Is he Sibley?
Shania Hales.
Sibley doesn't play for near woman. You know about Lois Jewell?
Lois Jewell.
Yeah.
Rachel Furness.
Yeah.
Shania Hales. Emily Murphy. There was one more who got called up.
Gregory.
Freya, that's it. There we go. And I mixed that up.
We did have Charlotte Wardlow for the under-23s as well. Like.
Oh, yeah, true. So, out of them, for the senior teams, the only one who's ended up playing is Emily Murphy. And Shania Hales didn't even get a feature on her squad. Now, I'm buzzing for Emily Murphy, although she didn't get a lot of time, did she?
No, she's the only one.
Yeah.
Look, it's great that we've got some internationals now. Don't get me wrong. But none of them have picked a ball, which is a bit worrying, I guess. But Freya Gregory's only just recently come in the Scottish setup. Lewis Jewell, I don't think she's been in the Welsh setup for that long. Fernie's been there for years, so I'm not that worried about her. She's just the record goal scorer for Northern Ireland. She's only just come back from injury, so maybe that had something to do with it. But I expect her to probably play a lot more. Murphy's up and coming. She's still quite young. Shania's in and out of that Jamaican side as well. Charlotte Wardlow's in the 23. She's played a couple of games, but the fringe players, most of them at the minute, except from Rachel Furness, but that's just because she's come back from injury. So they've only, as I say, a lot of them only just joined the setup. So I'm not too worried yet. If it was more of a case of that they've been there for 2-3 years and they only get like 5 minutes every couple of games, which Lewis Jewell might be the one that we're a bit worried about.
Yeah.
But she'll be facing England in the Euros. That'll be interesting.
Oh, that's going to be a dangerous one. I'll be enjoying that one. Like St. Louis Jewell go up against some of the Lionesses. Obviously, former Lioness was well. I've got Demi Stokes, brilliant. She's got plenty of international experience she can pass on to these players. I think that's great. It shocks me with Jamaica the way you'll hear Ferdinand in the background there, letting his mouth go, trying to start a fight with a dog 3 times his size. Is Shania not getting in the squad, but Paige Bailey-Gill did? I know Bailey-Gill plays a different role in Jamaica than what Shania does, but it just shocks me because I think after the season, Shania Hales deserves a time more.
Yeah, she's second top goal scorer in the league, isn't she?
Yeah.
And I know she's got some critics, but gosh, she's huffs and puffs and blows out of games and kind of like you don't see her for quite a large period, then she'll just bring in this magic and score and burn a player with pace. But I think Paige Bailey-Gill, look, we haven't seen her. She's playing in the German second division. We're not saying what she's producing, so we can speculate. But she needs just fox in the box. She needs service. Paige Bailey-Gill. We had her at Newcastle last season. Feed and she'll score. Similar to Bridget Galloway, both similar type of players. Whereas Shania can go left, right. She can use her pace. She's a different type of player, isn't she? So we're not saying what Paige Bailey-Gill's doing in Germany, so I don't know. Can't comment really.
It's a hard one. Moving on, Lee. Clue number 3. Give it to us, because I am very confident on who I have got here. Very confident. It's just that replacing Georgia Gibson at St James's Park in front of 28,000. I feel like I remember that, which is very rare for me, and remember a substitute.
Right, yeah, let's remind you of Clue 1, Clue 2. So I made my debut for Newcastle in a 9-1 win over Lincoln. Clue 2, I replaced Georgia Gibson at St James's Park in front of over 28,000 fans. And Clue 3, I needed international clearance to sign for Newcastle. That's thrown you a little bit, hasn't it?
That has thrown us a little bit, that one. International clearance. I'm trying to think, because I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who is that, so I might just have to stick with me clue number 2 guess, but we'll see. We've got a big fish to fry. And for me, now I know to a degree some people might disagree with us, I watched my most entertaining game this season against London City Lionesses. Although, yes, it was a loss, a devastating one as well. A lot of people said it was must win if we still had the promotion in our hands. I think for me, it was already kind of gone promotion. So it was a game for me where I wanted to see we really compete. And for me personally, we competed.
We did compete, and look, they're going to be right up there. They might even go up yet, and they've got ambitious owners. We've talked about that quite a bit this season with their owners, and obviously she's invested in American sport. She's got Lyon as well, who are, well, effectively the biggest team in France, let's be honest, and she's wants to get London City into the WSL, and she's put a lot of money into like playing at Bromley, reinvesting. We talk about internationals. They're signing internationals now, and look, we did compete. We only went down very narrowly, but and obviously Becky, she apologised to it, didn't she, afterwards? And I felt like we were like, why are you apologising? It's part of football.
Told her off.
All we want is just play for the badge, and I wouldn't say that we're happy. Don't get me wrong, but play for the badge. We'll be content with it. That's all we ask. That's the minimum requirement, whether you're the men or the women or you're under 21s.
Yep.
It was a big test for us. As I said earlier, I was pleased that that promotion's now gone. We can now just put that to bed, because I thought that was just lingering, and it was like, I know obviously Becky's ambitious, as you said the phrase earlier, but because she wants to go up. It's not the end of the world if you spend another season in the championship and reinvest in the squad again, because that definitely needs doing. But as I say, in terms of the match, there wasn't too much in it. I wasn't too disappointed losing. I was disappointed, don't get me wrong, but not too much.
As long as you give a good showing, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a two different style teams coming at each other with completely different tactics. London City Lionesses with the pace, with the skill, with the precision passing. Us with the in your face style, the physicality. I really enjoyed it, and it was sad to see. We had a lot of opportunities and we just didn't quite take them in the end. And do you know what? Again, it happens. We're a little bit disappointed, but overall, we went out there and we put it all on the field, and I don't think anyone can complain. Any of you fans who were there, let us know what you think about the London City Lionesses match, because I know a lot of people think that we threw it away a bit, but I don't think there was too much to fight for in that match other than pride in itself. And for me personally, we came away with quite a bit of pride against the front runners for the WSL promotion.
Yeah, I think obviously it was a battle. It was the battle of the top goal scorers, wasn't it? And obviously Goodwin scores almost straight away, more or less. However, Becky even said in a press conference that she was really happy with Newcastle high pressing, stopping London City cutting in. But the one time that they're allowed to back off, they scored from a Jacobson.
Yeah.
She moved over to the left side and she cut in and scored. And she mentioned that Leah Cataldo just for a couple of seconds backed off. Whereas the first half, she was probably the best at doing it. And it's that little one moment of a little bit of magic. And like we talked about international players, she was signed from America to come across, and basically you're a WSL player, but we're going to, a bit like Aslani. Yeah. You're a WSL player, but you're only going to play here one season and we're going to get you up in the league. But yes, we got beat, but you know what? It's weird because it's like I'd never come away from a game saying, do you know what, we compete in that tally asking. It's like, right, the promotion's gone now. Yep. I'm more relieved that that's out the window, because that was bugging me a little bit, I'm not going to lie.
There was too much pressure on it as well. I think everyone it was like you said before, it was all this little stat picking and like, oh, if this one loses and them draw, and then if we do this. And for me, it was done a few games ago. We weren't getting promoted, and the focus was to make sure that we'd bow out of this season in incredible fashion and have a great end to the first foray into the championship. And I think so far, even if this season was to end slap bang right now, I'm proud of what we've done this season.
Yeah, I think the top 7 are pushing away from the bottom, 3 or 4, aren't they? Yep. So there's a bit of a gap there. So the next aim for Becky is not to finish 7th. It's now don't finish the bottom of the best, if that makes sense, is that right terminology? Because the bottom 3 or 4 are way drift. Like, we've got the Blackburn games coming up, and Amber was saying just recently in an interview that she finds it bizarre that she hasn't played the team yet, and it's April. We haven't played Blackburn yet, and it's mad. And then
within the space of a month, I think it is, isn't it?
2, yeah, home and away. It's home and away, and so it's the last game of the season. Unfortunately, that clashes with me being down Brighton. May the 4th be with you. Yep. Which is a shame, but obviously the double header this weekend, which I'm doing. Yeah. I'll be jumping in my car and rushing down to see the men play at St James's. So, I think realistic. I've always said top 5. I've gone on record and said that, and I think that's more realistic for me.
Yeah, I said from the very start, I thought we were going to finish 7th. So if we finish 7th, I'm not disappointed. But when you put it the way you just put it, bottom of the best. We're not bottom of the best. We're a top 4 club in this league, I think, and we should deserve to finish there. So I want to say 4th.
3 times this season.
Yeah. We've got some of the weirdest stats this season, though, for like the wins, draws, and losses. We've got another team.
I think what Becky would want next season is more goals.
Yeah.
And that goes down to recruitment in the summer. So, yes, you've got Shania, but where's the next player?
Yeah.
How many does the next player got after that? Well, the Shania's out in front by quite a distance. I think, is it Amy Andrews, I want to say?
Beth Lumsden.
Beth Lumsden might be, but it's 4, 5, 6s. Yeah. Whereas Shania's like way ahead.
Yeah. She's on, what, 11 or 12?
11, I think she's on now. So. Yeah.
Aye, well, we'll see what happens. I do think a new striker is going to be something that we need in the summer to back up Shania Hills and to make her fight for our position that bit more. And, iron sharpens iron, really, isn't it?
It is. I think it's not bad competition. It helped Newcastle get promoted last season. Whatever you say that you didn't agree with Bridget banging the goals in, and then as soon as Page comes in, Bridget can't get in the sign. Our form's dropped. Page was banging in a couple of hat-tricks, so it helped. So competition's not always a bad thing. We've talked about the 3 class wingers. I think we need another 4th one, probably an actual centre-back, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Because we've had a lot of injuries. It's going back a couple of seasons ago where there's makeshift people playing there. And again, we've had Hannah Greenwood play there. Charlotte Wardlow. I don't even think Charlotte Wardlow's an actual centre-back, but she's having to play there. We've seen Amber play there, Rachel Furness at the start of the season, so a couple of centre-backs, possibly a full-back.
I definitely ones that I want to see coming in the summer. That said, before we wrap it up, all full and finally, Howie then Lee. Who am I?
Come on then.
The finale.
Well,
Mate.
Question 1, I'll go through it for everybody again. I made my debut in a 9-1 win over Lincoln City. So did you have anyone there?
No, I couldn't. There was a few players who popped in my mind, but I'm terrible for going back that far and thinking of the squad then. But I had no one in my head really then. I was starting to scrape a few players together.
Clue 2 was the Barnsley game. That's where we beat them at St James's Park in front of 28,000, and she replaced Georgia Gibson.
And that's where I straight away, I don't know why, but I'm certain it was Cara Milne Redhead. That being her debut as well, I'm almost... but then part of it is like, did she not make a debut somewhere else? But I'm certain that was a talking point about Cara Milne Redhead making her debut at St James's.
Nah, it's not her. You got the right position, I think, though. So, and then we went on to clue 3, was I needed international clearance. So basically what that means is an international clearance means you need approval from the government that you can play or work in this country. So that was clue 3. You've clicked on probably now, haven't you? Who do you think that is now?
Charlotte Pizzarello.
No, it's not her.
Oh, it's not Pizzarello.
She's American. There's another massive bombshell. Gillian Oyos.
Do you know what's annoying? What did I just do the other day on the Newcastle United Women's group? I posted up a picture and I said, can anyone guess who this player is? And guess who the player was? It was Gillian Oyos. So well done. If you've got that, well done to you. Really big well done to you. That was, that took me, that one. Like.
That's the thing. Is the clue 1 is always the hardest. Clue 2 is a medium. Clue 3 is normal. I thought you might have got it by clue 3.
No.
Because obviously the internationals that we've got, all the internationals that we've got don't need international clearance, same as Shania, because obviously Shania's born and raised in England, so she was the only one that we needed the international clearance. Cheryl Ann was the other one, yeah. So, but it wasn't, but it was obviously, it was Jill Oyas, who's back over Nashville. I think she plays for Nashville now, but she's only had like 1 season here.
It was sad she didn't play a hell of a lot for it, but she was an alright player at the time. I mean, I don't think she'd fit into the squad now, like, but she was a great player for it at the time.
She was more or less Beth Guy's understudy at the time, I think.
Yeah, she was. I played alongside Potty a few times as well. I remember that.
Yeah,
funny story.
Yeah, Jill Oyas, that's her.
Yes. Well, that is pretty much it all wrapped up now for the Newcastle United Women's Pod. As always, make sure you give it a like, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Also, on top of that, if you listen on audio, hit me with a 5-star. It doesn't take much and it's massive for us. We appreciate it massively. We'll see you there this Sunday for the Blackburn game, the first of 2 in 2 months. Strange. And you'll no doubt, if you go to the men's match, you'll see Lee at the men's match. I'm on my own. Oh, yeah? Yeah, Johnny's a bit under the thumb. Sorry, Johnny, that's about the 3rd time I've mentioned that now. Johnny's missing yet another game. Sorry, Johnny, that's... I've got a record of Johnny. Johnny's only appeared in 2 out of the last 7 Newcastle United games. Bad form, that, Johnny, man. You need to sort it out. However, come on, get it sorted, will you? This is what happens when you get a girlfriend. Not me, though. No, not me. Hey, I've been good, you know. Amanda's a good one to me. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you get to the women's game. I don't have people out in every single one, though. Right, you know, we'll see if I get a season ticket in the near future, see if I can get to both games on the weekend. Good luck. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much. Like I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe, give us 5 stars, and make sure as well you send some love in the comments for War Ferdinand. Ferdinand. You can't get up because he's all tangled. Yeah, he's... and he's got his nails in my thing. Thank you very much, guys. We shall see you later. See you later.